The International Festival of Speed is held over 4 days and provides racing in over 10 categories. This includes periods 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pre-modern solos, and period 3, 4, 5, and modern sidecars, which adds up to a hell of a lot of racing over 4 days. It also includes some niche competitions such as the Ken Lucas Trophy. Here, to enter, the combined age of the bike and rider has to be over 100 years of age. Very cool. The event's put on by the Place Classic Racing Association in New South Wales. How good are these blokes? They are the epitome of all things that's good about grassroots racing, and this event is their showcase event. Now, given the event's heritage as the Barishane Festival of Speed, it's fitting that it continues to attract legends, including contemporaries of Sheen himself. Sheen was a keen historic racer, and in the later years of his life he used to attend the Eastern Creek meetings held in and around Easter. And it was this fact that provided the inspiration of the good folk at the PCRA to put together this event in his memory. And in doing so, they've created an event that is imbued with genuine character. There is no doubting the legitimacy of the characters from back in the day. For example, Sheen's mate and regular at the IFOS is Steve Parrish. To this day, he's still binned from travelling to Macau, all due to a historic brouhaha over an alleged involvement of bombing a Macau knock shop with firecrackers. Now, not to delimit the obvious talents of today's top-level racers, but could anyone seriously imagine a Lewis Hamilton's getting up to those sort of shenanigans? The biggest controversy that he's likely to end up in the middle of is a Milan Fashion Week faux pas where he's caught by the paps with a clashing collar and cuffs. Hardly the stuff of swagger. It'd be churlish to bemoan progress. I like Netflix, pay wave is handy, and to be fair, penicillin has proven to be pretty handy over the journey too. Besides, there's the unique advances made by special cars and bikes in the past that's gone a long way to ensuring they resonate in the consciousness of enthusiasts and hence made them the classics they are today. And I'm not buying into the extremist views of some that see current motorsports being taken over in some rise of the machines where pilotless vehicles are used to showcase merely engineering technological superiority. That said, F1 hybrids are well established, Formula E continues to grow, and the spectre of electric bike racing foretells a very real trend. During the opening week of the 2018 MotoGP season, there's meetings discussing the first ever all-electric motorcycle racing series. It's currently set to start in 2019, 11 teams running 18 bikes. This is coming. It's more than a fad, it's the future. But what this trend does is magnify the importance of events like the International Festival of Speed and groups like the PCRA. The future is the future, but it is events like these that remind you vividly of how good it was. It's not just the swagger of these guys, although, as established, they don't make them like they used to. It's also a feast for your senses that future events will struggle to emulate. When a human race fell off the production line, we're all fitted with 5 senses, and all 5 senses get well catered for at the International Festival of Speed. As I drove in the circuit Thursday over, I heard the engines of the sidecars howling, and I immediately responded like some Pavlovian dog. I was excited. I was at the track. This was a good day. The soundtrack of the paddock of competing engines revving is for me a pervasive element of a day spent at a motorsports event. You hear it, for sure, but you also smell it. There's nothing like two-stroke and the smell of Castrol R. These bikes, when they come into the paddock after being ridden in anger, have a smell. It's hot metal, it's burning fuel, it's hot motor oil. In fact, it's the unmistakable odeur de toilette of pure excitement. No, that's not some reference to a brown racing suit. Then there's the bikes. There is no bike that will be built into the future that has the intrigue and beauty of some of these classic warriors. The sense of sight. In short, a walk along the pits is as vividly stimulating as watching the Travago girl and the Fordad girl, both in bikinis, feeding each other grapes. True story. Then there is the sense of touch. Because this is an event run by legends, the paddock, and by extension the bikes and riders, can actually be touched. Well, within reason. For example, I shook Frank Achilles' hand. I wouldn't recommend jumping on any old bike you see without permission, but point is, you're not locked away behind a remote fence line. At the IFOS, you get a unique opportunity to get up close and personal. Then there's the sense of taste. Here, just turning up, you showed you were a blessed individual bestowed of good taste. So taste, big tick, there you go. For me, that makes it 5 out of 5, 100% serving to your senses, which is not what any form of aspirational E-Series can lay claim to. This all leads me to conclude that it's doubtful we would have ever seen Barry Sheen, for example, trying to bum an e-cigarette off a Marshall before forming up on the start line, devoid of any grid girls, aboard an electric bike. For mine, at least for now, batteries remain solely the domain of use in children's toys. However, as this trend reaches inevitable levels, I believe, perhaps counterintuitively, that the relevance of all forms of historic racing will ultimately take on greater significance, with its ability to remind the tech-savvy beige populace of what swagger is and what the other 3 out of the 5 senses are actually for. We thoroughly enjoyed the 2018 IFOS, so turn up the sound and enjoy.